Hey, we're Facebook Live on site in the Shannon Park neighborhood today. I'm with James Andrews, and we're at 1901 Lakedale Drive, where he's in the middle of his current rehab. So we thought we'd swing on by and talk with James for a little bit. So, hey.
Hey.
So, do you want to tell them how you picked up this property?
Nope, it's proprietary. I don't share that information with people in the public domain. Now, there's no big secrets. This was brought to me by a wholesaler. So, project they brought to me, we walked it, we liked it, ran the numbers, it made sense. And here's our grand project.
So, is that how you pick up the majority of your properties?
It's a mixed bag. Wholesalers, mail, phone, knocking doors, walking the streets, courthouse. It's a mixed bag.
Gotcha. And so when you pick this one up, and Julie, I don't know if you want to pan, you're still in the process of the renovation, so this was not a new build. This was an existing structure that you went ahead and you're just doing the rehab within the existing square footage. You're not doing an addition.
Correct.
All right. And so what's kind of the scope of work on this one?
Everything. I mean, literally, we're redoing everything. What you'll find with a lot of these single-story brick ranchers that are built prior to the 80s, you having to redo the electrical and the plumbing. So whether you realize it or not, when you walk into these houses, account for having to do the electrical and the plumbing, which is going to be a substantial portion of the budget, unbeknownst to us initially. So we're redoing electrical and plumbing throughout the entire property. We had to put on a new roof, and as you can see, we're still working through some of the soffit and some of the exterior. We're painting we actually painted the exterior, has its first coat. On the interior, we still, once you do the electrical and the plumbing, then you got to pull the house back together. Let me back up. You have to visit if you're doing the HVAC, which we are doing here as well. Mm-hmm. Once you've torn all the walls down and you've seen what's on the inside and you've done the mechanical works, then you put it back together. In this house, we actually did open up a couple of the walls, which we'll see in a second, to give it a little bit more space, make it feel more 2018-ish. Open, yeah.
Is the word?
Well, that's the word, but it's got to make it sound chic or cool.
Okay.
A little more millennial friendly, open spaces, less boxy. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of open spaces in this house, which has presented a question that maybe you can help me answer with the project. So,
okay.
But in the midst of that, also making the kitchen more contemporary. So you're going to see right now the kitchen is gutted, as well as the bathrooms. The bathrooms are gutted so that we can come back with brand new tile, brand new fixtures, brand new vanities. And in essence, we're going to have a brand new house.
What's the square footage on this one?
So the square footage officially is 1,700 and some change, but as we've measured it, it's a little over 2,000.
So that really bodes well in your favor.
Absolutely.
So, any idea where you're going to be price per square foot, or still working on that?
Price per square foot is going to depend on a couple of things, how we decide on some of the finishes, but we're going to be somewhere between $1.12 to $1.18 a square.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I say that right? Yeah, 112.
Yeah, at $1.12, I'm buying this house from you.
$1.12. Yeah, I'm going bankrupt. So.
Totally.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
So let's take a look. I mean, well, now we don't have any power on in the house, so it is a little bit dark.
We have power, but we don't have any lights.
I'm sorry.
Right,
Excuse me. My bad. So, yeah, should we go take a look?
After you.
Awesome.
Now's the time to ask your questions, folks. And Bob, Kevin, David, Damar, Damon, thanks for watching.
An audience.
I know.
We got the Oprah rehab.
I'm working on these, man. We're going to be on HGTV hopefully by the time I'm there.
So you gotta get married and divorce somebody and take all their money, or have to take all of yours.
No, I already been there, done that. I'm not doing. Well, not the take over their stuff part, but the married and divorce part, yeah. So we're in the living room, and I remember when I first looked at this with you, we had was there a half wall?
Yeah, there's a half wall right here. You can still see the imprint on the ceiling and
all the way up to the ceiling. So you guys took that out in order to just open up the space.
Exactly.
And then in your kitchen eat-in area, what happened here? Because I see a lot of drywall work and flooring. Did you guys have, there was some sort of plumbing issue?
Huge plumbing issue. What we noticed before we even purchased it here in the left corner was that there had been a leak under the sink for God knows how long.
Yeah.
So when you have major leaks, you're generally going to have some sort of subfloor damage, and if it's that bad, you may even have damage all the way down to the joists.
Gotcha. So what did you guys do?
Well, we had to go down and redo the floor.
Okay.
Just all the way down through the foundation. So I had to reframe, restabilize.
Right.
And now we have some subfloor, and then obviously we'll come back over with brand new tile.
Gotcha. And you opened up the doorway more too. Wasn't this closed off floor?
As you can see, it was closed off.
Oh,
right
there
here.
you go. Yeah, because you can see with the hardwoods. Gotcha. So your plan is, are you going to stage this one, do you think?
Are we?
I don't know. Are
Yeah,
you?
I think so.
So, I mean, what's interesting about this one is that you've got so many living spaces. You have so many, my terrible grammar, my goodness. You have so many living spaces. So you've got basically your living room,
Right.
your kitchen, your eating kitchen, and then as you come back here, you've got what could be basically the family room, and you've got the fireplace, which is sweet. And then you've got this additional room that weren't even sure. I mean, it's a multi-purpose room. It could be used in a number of ways. They've got all their construction materials back there, so we could probably just do a quick pan.
Of it. Don't
just
show the mess.
so we don't have Julie tripping as she's videoing.
Kind of like a kid with a dirty room who doesn't want their parents to see it.
Yeah, we should have shut the door.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just pan high, not low.
there you go. So in the room with the fireplace here, we're painting the heart of pine.
Yes.
Right. And that's it, right? That's
Pretty
new
much it.
lighting.
New floor.
New floor.
Paint the walls.
Mm-hmm. So when we first looked at this house together, it was 2 bedrooms
Yes.
because whoever owned the house prior had knocked down one of the walls between the 2 bedrooms
Right.
and made it one ginormous room.
Correct.
So right there, you took it from a 2-bedroom back to a 3-bedroom.
Yes.
And I know there was a odor.
Yes.
Yeah, the smell of money.
Yeah. This is true.
So-
That odor definitely deters the faint heart.
Yes. So how are you guys? I mean, and it's not bad now. I mean, obviously the place has had some time to air out,
Right.
but going forward, how bleach kills? How?
Kills.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of different ways to approach it. Kills. Some you use vinegar. Some use bleach. You spray it, and it gets rid of the stuff.
Right. Very cool.
You can paint over it, oil-based paint, a couple of different things, but
Yeah.
it'll likely be kills.
So the hardwood floors really weren't in bad shape in the rest of the house, except for where there was the urine stains that you just can't
True.
get out.
Yeah, I think it just begs the question: is it less expensive and frankly a little more beautiful to come back over it with another surface or to refinish?
Yeah.
It's a cost-benefit analysis, and depending on the neighborhood, depending on what the neighborhood will demand and will support, you figure it out. Here, we're going to come back over it with a deluxe vinyl,
Yeah.
a panel vinyl.
A panel. Okay. Because I was going to say, because you could basically kills them and then paint the flooring too, and then what? Poly? Is that how that would work?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just asking.
We come back with a nice tile.
Fair enough.
Nice tile plank.
So on the, let's see, so this bedroom was actually not in terrible shape. Needed some drywall touch-up, some drywall work. And well,
a lot
actually,
of the
let's
drywall
take
was
that back.
redone because of having to go into the walls.
The
and do
electrical.
Exactly.
The electrical.
Yeah, so once that was cut out, it just made sense so that we had fewer seams and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
So it should be a nice finish when it's all done.
Yes.
And then I know the first bathroom, and this is where it's going to get a little bit dark, so maybe we stand behind Julie and use your flashlight on your phone.
Following your cue,
And I'll
producer.
just go forward and hopefully not fall in any holes.
Yes.
So originally there was a linen closet here, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And then there was there not a single vanity here? Then there was a second vanity, and then the toilet, and there was a half wall, which basically cut the space in half.
Yeah, it cut it in half, made it a kind of a really small, tight space.
Right. And then you had your shower tub combo on the other side. So I know you wound up taking the wall out to just make the space feel much bigger. I don't want to step to the left because I
Don't.
No, because I can already see there's holes in the floor, and I'm not sure how secure that all is.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was really just trying to figure out what's the best way to make use of the space.
Right.
I mean, it was a tight. We had 2 small rooms, which didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just open it up like everything else and make it one bigger, more
So-
friendly space?
Right. So it's definitely going to make the bathroom feel a whole lot bigger than what it did initially.
Literally, there are 3 of us standing in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're not even occupying half of it, so that gives you a sense of pretty good size.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. So are you thinking? So I mean, it was kind of crazy that they had the 2 single vanities. So just one double vanity, toilet, Is it staying kind of the same configuration that it was?
Similar configuration. One of the things we're considering is actually boxing in I call them poo-poo closet, but a water closet in the corner right here next to the door. But if not, leaving the toilet there and then bumping the sinks back towards this wall, back towards the door.
Really glad that when you list properties, you don't put that in the age. Oh
yeah, it works really well. Poo-poo closet. Yeah. People eat poo-poo platters, right?
Oh, that's a whole different ball of wax. So heading down the hall here, I vaguely remember where we were. What do we have?
It's a linen closet.
Right. So that's now being taken out, and the idea being that you're going to.
The idea was, and again, we've got to. The demo's been done. Mm-hmm. We could bump this back out, make the shower bigger, but again, what will the neighborhood support? Is it really going to add that much value to make the shower bigger or not? I don't think so. So the house needs a linen closet. Go ahead and put it there.
Okay. So as Julie's backing up, she's backing into, this is the wall that was missing. This wall was not here at all, and all of this was made into one big, huge bedroom.
Yes.
Right? And then where we were trying to point out on the side here is, this is the master suite, which was really pretty snug. And it was just a walk-in shower, one single vanity, and the toilet. And by removing the linen closet in the hall, are you guys thinking that you're going to put a bench and make the shower bigger? Was that the plan?
Yeah. We were going to make it a little bit bigger and situated how a bench possibly, yes, with one of those ginormous shower heads.
Cool.
That makes it look like it's Tony Starkish.
So in Shannon Park.
Right, in Shannon Park, yes.
So, and then you had actually a really good closet space too.
Yes.
So not bad for an older home in an older neighborhood. What's the year of the house? What are we?
1974. If I'm not mistaken, it was Sansville, like the Brady Bunch.
Gotcha. So it's your standard brick ranch. And actually the lot size is a pretty good shape too.
Lot size is pretty good. It's about a third of an acre.
Very cool. Come this way. So, and now we're in the third bedroom.
Am I going in, or I guess I'm not?
There's plenty of room. Come on in. The water's fine.
Thank you.
So somebody was doing math.
Yes, figuring about the approximate square footage and so forth. So yeah,
Is that you guys?
No.
Sure it wasn't.
I know somebody's broken in here quite a few times.
Lies.
It's no, not at all. Not a lot. One of the things to be aware of: secure your properties. People break in. It's not safe.
Okay,
That's your, what do you call those public service announcements? That's your PSA for today.
That's the PSA.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what were the challenges on this one for you? You think, or the abbreviated version?
Yeah, I don't know if much of that should be expounded on Facebook, but realistically, one of the biggest challenges, and you talk to most people who do any of these projects, whether they do 1 or 10, is finding the right people to work with. Mm-hmm. We actually had to terminate a crew for lack of a better way of saying it, just really bad workmanship.
Yeah.
And getting through, working through certain things that are supposedly finished, coming to find out not only are they not finished, but the work just wasn't done well.
So you're now having to, as an investor, as a rehabber,
figure out a way to rework it without digging a financial ditch that you can't get out of.
Because you've kind of already started to pay for work to be done, absolutely. And now you're having to go back and basically repay a second time, so to speak, to some extent.
To a certain extent, no, absolutely, and that's where there's no two ways about it. There's certain things we ended up having to repay for,
right?
But then thankfully, a couple of things have happened in the meantime. One, we've been able to work with other guys that can come in and do a good job. Mm-hmm. Getting busier with other projects that we can kind of hedge the loss on this. But at the same time, if you buy right, it protects you against some of the downside damage that can be done in the budget. Mm-hmm. Number one, but then number two, factoring into every rehab budget that there is going to be some loss.
Right.
So you put those things together: one, buy right; two, factor in a contingency on a loss in a rehab. And then, having a good sense on what you're buying and what the after repair value is going to be reasonably, as opposed to being extremely aggressive on it, gives you enough of a buffer. Whereas even in this project, with having had a reasonable loss with the previous crew, we're still going to be in a pretty pretty well into the black on this project. You know, reason to go thumbs up and be happy.
Well, do you factor in, like, would you say maybe a 10% overage or a 10% fudge factor just for things like that can happen? Do you have kind of a certain number percentage?
This is truly a Jamesism. I mean, you hear people say you'll factor in 10%. You know, I mean, I could be safe, but it really depends on how much the work is, how mysterious the job is going to be.
Yeah.
If you're gutting it all together, I don't know that you necessarily have to have 5%. But if you're doing a job where you don't think you're going to have to redo the electrical, you don't think you're going to have to redo the plumbing, you don't think you're going to have to do the HVAC. Even with an inspection, if you do one, you know, I would say, hey, go ahead and buffer a little bit more. So it really depends on how, one, deep your inspection is previously, two, how much room there is for unseen issues, three, also how familiar you are with the people that are doing the job for you.
Yeah.
And how forgiving they're going to be on change orders if work comes up that's required that isn't in the initial scope. So rule of thumb, you know, I guess 10% is good or bad, but I've done projects where we're at 20% on the contingency just because we don't know.
Yeah.
And if it's in your budget and you don't have to spend it, guess what?
Then it becomes profit.
It's profit, or it's money you can reinvest in the project and possibly do a little bit better on. So it's money that you don't lose, and that all feeds into how you buy it as well. So.
Well, and I know you having to change crews in the middle of the process and cause some delays for you.
Absolutely.
Although I think the upside for you on this one has been that this has been such a transitioning neighborhood and transitioning market in here that you're seeing better than average returns. So actually the delay almost worked in your favor, because in the meantime other houses have hit the market and have sold at a much better price per square than when you initially took it down, and where you thought your price point was going to be when you were going to list it versus where you'll be listing it now.
And that's why it pays to sort of know your neighborhoods. Buying this, we conservatively priced our ARV from an analytical perspective. So from analytics gave us a certain price, but the subjective gave us a much higher price.
Right.
Subjectively, we're approaching where we thought we were going to be. Objectively, this is still an okay purchase. Subjectively, this was an outstanding purchase.
Okay.
So it's sometimes a matter of, we use these terms science and art a lot. Scientifically, this was a good buy, and it's still a pretty decent deal despite all the challenges and changes we've had in the midst of it. Subjectively, yeah, it's I won't say it's a home run, but it's a triple.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty solid. And I think the fact that it's not even just the neighborhood, I mean, the market itself is doing really well, but the neighborhood is really doing quite well. I think there's been we've seen quite a few investor properties in here, or I should say, rehab properties in here, that once people have gone in, they've updated them.
Yes.
You're seeing a much better price on the back end. So I think it's funny because if your numbers are, and I don't think any of you should ever go in with their numbers tight for the very reason that you just don't know.
Remember that.
Yeah, no kidding. But when you have the numbers that are a little bit snug, if you're not paying attention to what direction the market is trending, it can really hurt you. I mean, if we were on the beginning of the downslide, this could have went in a whole different direction for you versus the fact that the market, especially in this shoulder neighborhood,
and rented already.
Yeah, I hear you. So, what were your lessons learned on this one? What were your takeaways, your positive takeaways on it?
Positive takeaways are get to know good people, get to know many good people, because in different capacities, you're always looking for people's sage advice.
Sure. People's
resources as far as who they know, who can step in. And even if you have one or two good tradesmen, general contractors, people of different skills and trades, when you're in a pinch, you don't know who's going to be available or willing to help you out.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so...
especially because subs are so busy right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're just slammed.
And good ones are even more difficult to snag. So, the lessons learned, and also... this isn't a laissez-faire business either. If you're doing renovations, even when you hire a GC and or a foreman and or a project manager, you do have to tend to the projects yourself. And
don't autopilot?
Well, you definitely can autopilot, but don't be scared to ask the questions. Don't be scared to step on stuff, kick things, and sometimes draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think people's nature is to get a lot and give a little. And this is definitely an environment where dealing with it's not specific to contractors or tradespeople, but it's definitely an environment where much is going to be asked while receiving a little. And it's not a space to do that. Otherwise, you end up in a project, say a budget of $40,000 budget, you've paid someone $20,000 and you don't have much to show for it.
Right.
It's not specifically what happened here, but generically, don't give up too much money without getting too much work into it.
Well, and your scope changed somewhat too. I mean, once the market started to improve, like you weren't initially planning on painting the exterior brick, right?
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. And certain things come in the midst of a project. You figure out the cost benefit. What's the cost to paint an exterior? What's the desirability of a painted exterior?
I think it was a smart move, quite frankly.
I'm a smart guy. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, and I remember when you were going through the contractor issues, and we wound up talking about that, and I think the takeaway for me was that you hire slowly and you fire quickly, that if someone is...
I got t-shirts made with that slow.
You know what?
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
We should. Some caps.
It's
just
good
to
advice,
remind
whether it's
ourselves.
dating, whether it's
Yeah.
rehabs,
Yeah.
whether it's whatever it is.
Well, and that's actually the business coach that I hired has been talking about that you shouldn't hire someone just because they can, fog a mirror. You want to really, yeah. So you want to make sure that, they know what they're doing. So, but I think that's pretty much all the time we have for today. So happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you, you too.
And what are you doing with your honey tonight? Anything?
It's private.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, cool.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing actually.
So it's private.
I know. No, I'm not private at all. I have no shame. No, actually, he's showing up in a coat and tie. That's all I know.
He's showing up in a coat and tie.
Yeah. So I said, I guess I'm
That
going
lends
to put
itself
on
to a question I'll ask off camera.
Yeah, you better. Don't ask on. But yeah, so I'll be going home to change my clothes and put on a skirt or a dress. And yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. So I'm excited. I'm totally intrigued. I love surprises. Yeah, I like anticipation.
In the meantime, James, what's the best way for people to reach you?
Oh yeah. So if are you looking to pick up any other properties?
We're always looking for good projects. Absolutely.
So what areas are you focusing in?
Frankly, if it's within a 45-minute drive of uptown,
Wow.
in North Carolina, we'll give it a gander.
Okay. And how can people reach you?
Carrier pigeon.
And if you'd like to get the deal when it's still hot.
It's terrible. I know my personal cell phone. I know one of our numbers, but the best number to reach us on is 704. Well, one of the many numbers, 704-755-5330. But we also have a number that you can call us directly if you're looking to sell us property.
Okay.
I don't know it.
All right, well,
We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, well, I know you've got the sign out front, so we'll take a picture of the sign out front. We'll post it in the comments.
Perfect.
So if anybody has any properties that they're looking to sell,
Give us a call and we'll buy it if it's properly priced.
All right, we're out. Good seeing you. I'll talk to you soon.